Hey photographers! So we just finished our lesson on temperature and filters within the camera, and as with the previous lessons, I like to show in Photoshop elements and in Photoshop the things that you can do in your program if you miss getting it in the camera. Now, because I can do so much with tinting and filters in the program, I tend to not use the built-in things in my camera. There's actually a lesson here in course 2, and actually it's course 1. Yes, so if you go, this is what the site looks like now. I'm always changing it, but in the Classes tab, if you go to Course 1 Guide, and then Set 1, and you scroll down to Lesson 5, you're going to see a lesson on tinting, and I'm going to link that up also in this class thread, and I want you to go and review that tutorial. It's in video and PDF. It's one of the really old PDFs that I wrote before I even opened up the site, but all the things in it are still applicable. Or you can go down here also to where it says free lessons and click on course 1, and right here is the PDF, and I've already got it called up here, and so you can go through this PDF and see all the ways of tinting your photo, which is what the filters do often in your camera that we saw in the last lesson. In this one, we're just putting a layer above our photo and changing the blending modes and the opacity. And in this one, we are using the layer styles. They are effects, and then you find photographic effects, and you can tint your photos. Here is the sepia tone, so that is still there. And tinting with hue and saturation, and tinting with the hue and saturation adjustment layer, and tinting with the color variations, tinting with the photo filter adjustment layer. This is kind of what I want to go ahead and reinforce and peek into yet again in this lesson. So let's hit undo. If we go to the new adjustment layer and photo filter, you're going to see, oops, where'd my adjustment? This pop up. And in the drop down, you're going to see warming colors, cooling colors, and a variety of other defaults in here. But the reason why we have warming and cooling is most of the time if you don't get your white balance right, or if you get, as we've talked in the past, we may get some tinting in our photos if you are in a church with a red carpet. I say that one because I've had this problem several times, and it will throw a red cast on everything, or it will be like in my kitchen with all the brown cabinets or the wood floor in my house, it may be casting a warm orangish tint onto my photo. And we've talked about this and fixed it in other lessons, so this should be becoming a little bit more familiar to you. To fix something, you want to find the opposite color and then apply that. So if my photo, now this is just a photo outside, the color is actually very accurate in it. I just got a recent photo I took. My husband was picking up the bush trimmings, and Rhea was just acting cute, so I had to take a picture of, of it because, I was photographing. So there's nothing wrong with this picture. I just have something out there for us to play with. But let's say it's, a bad picture taken in my house, and it's kind of got an orange tint from the floor, then I'm going to choose one of these cooling ones to cool it down. You see it makes the photo blue here, but it might correct your photo. And this is a cooling filter at 80%. Then I don't know what LBB is. I probably should have figured that out. And then 82. And so what you see that they're doing is actually slightly changing this color palette here. And you can preserve the luminosity, which I would recommend doing. That's great. It's not, I don't think this, I'm not sure if that's in older versions of Photoshop. I'm not sure when that came in. And you can change the density here. So depending on how much of a correction you need. But if you want to just make an artistic photo, you can change it to any one of these defaults. See, there's a deep red, we can really tint it red, violet. Here's your sepia tone, and you can do it slightly or make it really dense. If I take off preserve luminosity, you see it even changes the white background. So it affects more, but I like to preserve the luminosity when I do it. And this is not fully sepia because you see his shirt is still sort of blue. The other thing that you can do with this, other than click around and change here, is you can go ahead and customize and choose your own color. So you could choose any color you want to fix this photo. There's your blues, your yellows, your reds, and fix the color that way. If I take off this adjustment layer, what I can do is I'm going to duplicate this, and this is actually in another lesson somewhere, and I'm bringing this up from my mind, and I'm going to choose maximum. And this, oh, it's not going to work. Hold down my control key and click on the thumbnail to get marching ants just around the photo. And I'm going to get maximum, and I'm going to blur it on up. Yeah, isn't that the right? That just does not look right. Oh, I know. I'm in the wrong one. I need to find one called average. There it is. Ha! See what happens when I don't prepare for lessons? So I go to average, and it makes the average color of my photo. Now, in this case, it is averaging out to this yucky gray color because of the tree and the house, and most of my colors are this color. But if you want to find the average color and then click inverse, I would then get this is actually a pretty good photo because your average color should be around 50% gray, but mine's the opposite, is at 101. So anyway, so I've grabbed that color, and now I can turn my photo filter on and oops, go to the new adjustments, and I've lost it. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I keep losing it. I'm going to grab this number here, And when I go back here and click on the adjustments and then go in here, I can paste that gray in there and apply this, and that's going to take out any of the color cast that might be in the photo. And actually I kind of like it tinted like that, way up. Kind of would be a more artsy, monochromatic layout. Anyway, that is what I'm going to show you with tinting. And so I recommend that you go to this tutorial here. And remember, just to have fun, in the next lesson, though, we are going to break out and look at the black and white again. And we're going to do the virtual photographer. So skip those in this, and because I see that they're also in here because we're dividing it out. And just for this lesson, just tint your photos. Have fun.